And Funko unboxing number 387 is done. Let's see what's next on the drawing board. Wait. Q&A 15? Oh. Hello everyone, and welcome to Q&A 15. I've got all these questions here from 5 months ago. Let's just get to it before I feel more bad about myself. From Snowstorm the Snow Warrior. Have you read the Thea Stilton Mouseford Academy book series? No. No, I haven't, but Thea Stilton... Like Geronimo Stilton? I remember reading those books. If it is, I'm glad they're continuing the book series because I really enjoyed it, but I haven't read any of this series, but the Geronimo Stilton books were really good. From Amanda Rodriguez. Which game would you recommend for someone that likes games like Bully, Lego, Lara Croft, and has not played anything since PlayStation 2 was released?
That was bizarrely specific.
Yeah.
But you know what? Those three aren't a bad combo, because a game just popped into my head, and that's, oddly enough, Lego City Undercover. Yeah, I know, if you've been on the channel for a long time, I've talked to death about this game, but it really is great. But anyway, to the comparisons, it's Lego. It does have a lot of puzzle solving and action adventure, which Lara Croft also has. And then Bully. I know it's made by Rockstar, and they develop Grand Theft Auto, and I always like to say Lego City Undercover is like a kid-friendly Grand Theft Auto because it's an open world, you can drive a lot of cars, you can break stuff, run over people, but instead of being the robber, you're now the cop. But I'd highly recommend this game, especially if those three are your, examples. From Radish. What's the best cookie flavor? I swear, if you say raisin, it's not raisin. I swear, it is not raisin. I mean, you can't beat the classic chocolate chip. That would probably be my go-to. I know, it's very basic, but you can't beat a classic. From Jake Smip. Have you heard Procol Harum's A Salty Dog album? No, I know Procol Harum. I've seen a couple of their album covers, but I've never heard of A Salty Dog before. Maybe I'll have to give it a listen someday. From That Cool Kid. Are you slowly going insane, Ben? Well... Now that you ask that, I have been feeling a little odd these past 5 months. I mean... I have a video that I've been holding off for 5 months on. I've got a couple more scripts that I've been wanting to do. I've got a job. I just started school. I've got so much going on. I've got games I need to play. It's just... I don't know. Do you think I'm going insane? Do you think I'm going insane? Oh, I actually kind of hurt my jaw doing that. From Logo Puppy. What was your favorite game on the PS4? Oh, that's a good question. Let's see. It's a two-way tie between Red Dead Redemption 2 and the South Park games. I know we've talked about Rockstar earlier, but I really enjoyed it. It's a really cool story. I like how there's a choice where you can be a good cowboy or a bad cowboy, and I love the open world and the random interactions that occur. Like I've got a couple clips saved of like the most random interaction, and it was just the most awesome thing. And then I mean, isn't it obvious that I love South Park? But the games are really fun. They're well written, they're very enjoyable. I like them both for different reasons, but I might give a slighter edge to Stick of Truth. Maybe because it references the older episodes more, and I love the older episodes, but both games are really, really good, so those would be my 3 choices for favorite PlayStation 4 game. From Caspy Cat, what's your favorite type of video game? Favorite type? This is a surprisingly difficult question. Maybe I just never think about what kind of games I play. Like, I like a lot of fighting games, racing games, platforming, sports. It's like I never think of the genre. I just think of the franchise. Like, instead of I like RPGs, it's I like Pokemon, or it's weird. I never really think to a specific type or genre. But if I had to say one, either platforming or puzzle games. And if it's not for the game itself, it's because some of the games I play have platforming and puzzle elements. Like, I don't know how to describe Night in the Woods, but I do know that it has some platforming and puzzle elements in the game, but it's not purely a puzzle game or something like that. So I know it's not a direct answer, but I'm serious. Like, this was really tough to answer. Hope you can forgive me for that. From Lily LPS 16, when do you think Bluey will end? It's funny that I held off on this because since I got these questions, there were all those rumors about Bluey ending after season 3 and about Joe Brum wanting to leave Bluey and the voice actors getting too old, and I just thought it was kind of funny how that would happen between now and when I was asked this question. So, that's really tough to say because it really is up to the creators. They could either have a lot of ideas and a lot of episodes they could make, because we know the studio is going to say, keep making more, because Bluey is literally one of the biggest shows of its kind to come out now. But, I'd say it could be a good few years. Like, I know we just talked about the voice actors getting old, and, I mean, they could always replace some. It's still not going to feel the same, but it just really depends on the writer, because they could say, you know what, we do have some ideas, but it would just be best if we could end it here and not wear ourselves out. But I'll admit, it'll be pretty interesting when it does get to that point, because no show lasts forever, so Bluey will reach its end at one point, and it's gonna be a tough ride. From Star Film Studio, do you watch The Infinity Train? Ooh, that show. Once again, funny that we're talking about this when it was just removed from HBO Max. But, no, I haven't watched it, but I've heard nothing but praise about this show all over social media, so maybe one day I'll see it. From Just for Kicks, would you rather Bluey become a show that goes on for many seasons, or end when the creators see fit? You know, when I give it more thought, it's kind of hard to say. Because I was going to say the latter, because the creators, they would know how they want the show to end, and I want it to end when it's fresh, when it's not overstayed its welcome. I want it to end right. But at the same time, I just love this show, and I do feel like Bluey has a lot of possibilities. I mean, for a show that's so grounded in reality, so much can happen from this family and these characters and this setting and this time period. Like, you could do a lot. So, you could go on for many seasons, and I would love that. But I think I'll still say when the creators see fit. So, once again, it's going to be a wild ride whenever that end comes. From Mysterions, what South Park character would you want to spend a week with if they were real? Ooh, now that's an interesting question. Okay. I can't do the whole, oh, well, with my favorite character. Like, I have to really think about this. I can't say Randy because he gets drunk all the time, so dealing with him would be a pain. I would say Stan, but I love him, but he can be a bit of an asshole at times. Not with Cartman, because he's too evil. Not with Kenny, because he's too poor. God, now I sound like Cartman. I'd probably spend it with Butters. Like, I know, Cartman didn't have such a good time with Butters in the Osimo episode, but I feel like he would be the coolest to hang out with. He's so optimistic and outgoing, and the only real danger I'd have to worry about is either what his friends put him up to, or his parents being, well, his parents, so... But aside from that, if it was just me and him, I feel like I'd have the most fun spending a week with him, so I'd go with Butters. From Shadowmaster94, have you seen No Way Home? And if so, what are your thoughts? Oh, I definitely have seen Spider-Man No Way Home, and I really liked it. I mean, as someone who hasn't really seen the Maguire or Garfield Spider-Man movies, it was really cool to see these characters back. Like, I've seen clips and I know of Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin and Alfred Molina's Dr. Octopus, so it was just nice to, see them again after 15, 20 years. I love the Tom Holland movies, but this was just a fun movie. Like, I know there were a lot of serious moments and moments with lore and insert spoilers here, but this was just a really enjoyable movie in a very enjoyable trilogy. Like, I really liked the Tom Holland trilogy, so I really liked No Way Home. From the Plush Show Productions, what video have you made that you hated? Ooh, now that is a really good question. I'll say this, if it was a video that I hated, I've probably deleted it already, and I have deleted a couple. I would definitely say some of my older videos, because it's just because of what they were. I was just starting editing. I wasn't as experienced as I am now, so looking back, I do have some fond memories, but I do cringe a couple times, like, oof. I don't hate my top 15 favorite movie moments, but I would love to redo it one day, because I feel like I could make it a bit better, which is funny, because I called it one of my favorite videos I ever made, but I want to make it better, so maybe one day I'll redo it, but, there are two that I have in mind that I could just flat out say I don't like them. One of them is already deleted, and it was a video where I compared the Marvel Cinematic Universe to the Subspace Emissary from Super Smash Bros. Brawl, and it was just a dumb video where it's like, ooh, this happened in this thing, so it also happened here, that means they're related, so it was a dumb joke, but when I think about it, it's like, yeah, it was just really lazy and just dumb assumptions. And then another one is my music movie opinion discussion episode, mainly because it was a more style over substance. Like, I was way too focused on, like, the editing and the right music, and normally opinion discussion is an off-script kind of show, but some of the movies back when I made the video I haven't watched in a long time. Like, I discussed Stop Making Sense and Tommy, which are movies that I've seen more recently, but not back then, so that would probably be another video that I'd want to remake one day with better knowledge on these movies. And I mean, it's been 4 years, so I've probably seen a lot more music movies like Rocket Man and Elvis and all that I could probably add to this list. So the videos I would hate, it would probably be those two, and for the others, I'd probably want to remake some of them to make them better still. So yeah, that was a very, very good question, so thank you for that. From Jamie Davison, what's your opinion on Brum? Oh, Joe Brum? Of course, Joe Brum, but he seems like a cool guy. I mean, I've never met him in person. I only know him through certain interviews about the show, but he does seem like a really interesting guy, especially how a good chunk of Bluey is all reflected on what Brum has experienced in his life. So he just seems like a very nice and very interesting guy. From Bluey Clip 77, what's your favorite Pink Floyd song? Oh man, that's like picking between your own children. If you couldn't tell, Pink Floyd is one of my favorite bands. So picking a favorite song, oof, I would probably have to say Sheep off of Animals. It's a 10-minute song. It's got good build-up. I love the kind of hardcore, heavy kind of sound with it. It's a good final act for the album. It's just a really entertaining, awesome kind of song. I won't give away any honorable mentions because this video would be 50 minutes, but if I had to pick one, I would say Sheep off of Animals. By the way, you guys should listen to Animals. It's a great album. From Seb5, Red or Blue? Is that a Matrix reference or a Red versus Blue reference? Oh wait, you're asking for real. Well, I think my pants color would answer that question for you. From X Ryblast X, have you watched the internet series Marble Hornets? I've never even heard of Marble Hornets. Let me give it a look. Oh, that looks creepy. I definitely haven't seen this, but yeah, why am I looking at this at 9 at night? These are really creepy. I don't even know what this show's about. It looks like one of those like cursed tape kind of videos, but I don't know what this could be about, but this looks really, really spooky. From Brian Bell, have you ever heard of Amphibia? Oh yes, similar to Infinity Train, I've definitely heard of Amphibia throughout social media, and again, a show that gets nothing but praise, and just like Infinity Train, a show that's also ended, so maybe that's another show I'll have to catch up on someday. And finally, from Goose Goose Duck Fan, have you played Goose Goose Duck? Of course, a channel that talks about Goose Goose Duck asks a Goose Goose Duck question. I think so? There's a lot of goose and duck games now, so let me look this one up. Okay, no, I have definitely not heard of this one. It kind of looks like an Among Us copy, but it's just everyone's a duck. Again, there's just a lot of duck games, and when you brought it up, I thought of Duck Game, which is like an action platformer, it's a really fun game to play with friends, but I thought of that game, but no, I've never heard of Goose Goose Duck before. Whew, and finally, those are all 19 questions for Q&A 15. I know this kind of goes without saying, but I'm very, very, very sorry for not getting to this sooner. I promise whenever I do the next Q&A, I won't hold it off for so long. I'm going to try to get at least one video out a month since I'm balancing school and the job, but I'm going to try to get a lot more content out than what I've been doing, so thank you guys so much for your patience. If the people that have submitted questions 5 months ago are watching this, I hope you can forgive me. I'm just glad that I didn't decide to throw these out because these were some pretty good questions, and thank you guys for submitting them. And of course, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like it. Also, feel free to comment below your answers to any of these questions. Consider subscribing for more Q&As as well as other content, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Hey there, have you heard about my robot friend? He's metal and small and doesn't judge me at all. He's a cyber wire bundle of joy, my robot friend. I like to dimp and daddle with my robot friend. He's smart as can be and emotion free.